it's not much big of a deal, man, how this actually turned out, man, in this game. You know, with Man United and and West Ham, and it's just one of those ones where like when I went on here to watch that match, right? The quality of both teams, it looked like as if anybody, in West Ham point of view, and how poor Man United are in terms of the way that they set up and the way that they control the game and try to control the game. Let me put it that way. It looked like as if Man United was there for the taking. But then on the other side for West Ham, right? West Ham is, if I'm, let me put this on a wild one thing, because like West Ham is one of the teams that has probably one of the worst stats in terms of goal conceded. And when you see the underlying numbers, I can't believe I'm actually saying this, because like you all know, I don't go around it doing stats, like that. But this one is useful in terms of how many goals that they have conceded this season. And there's a reason why West Ham is somewhere near the relegation zone, or even in the relegation zone. Let me double check that. Let me fact check that, like that. Let me see. Actually in the relegation zone, because Leeds and Nottingham Forest are above them. Nottingham Forest 16, Leeds 17, West Ham 18, Burnley 19, and Wolves 20. So they are actually in the relegation zone. And when you see that, right, and then you see Man United, and then you see like West Ham, you say to yourself, surely Man United should at least try to at least win this game by 1-0, 2-0, even if it's 2-1, because how badly Amram set up the team. But because before the game, I was like, even though that United have been so batty in front of goal, and the way that they set up, and the way that they play, and the way that they are able, man, to get things going, you say to yourself, surely United man should be able to at least get something, even though they have been playing so badly. You see that? See now, from United point of view, you just don't know what you're gonna get from Man United. I said this for a minute in the previous videos, that we can't even predict if United are going to win a game, even though it's against relegation fodder. This game, Man United won, West Ham won. And United played so poorly. It reminded me of the Spurs game. We were 1-0 up front, and we were in a comfortable position because we have players on the pitch that are very good to link play, able to hold the ball, able to drive with the ball. So we were able, man, to keep the ball okay. It's until that Amram take off the subs. We said before that when you take out Casemiro and you put Ugarte on, the floodgates open. Now we're seeing the same thing again, only that the fact that man took off players that hold the ball. and that was Xerxes Cunha. And obviously, I can understand the Cunha sub because he came back a year from a precaution, I think, injury, and then and then didn't play much. So I kind of understand that kind of logic. But we need him and we need Xerxes on the pitch. And then he brings on cardio players. And then because most players on the pitch, except for probably Ahmad, Mazzarori, Casemiro, are the only players that probably can drive with the ball, or let's say hold the ball up. Because of the unpredictability of Man United, I'm not surprised what just happened. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Played absolutely poorly in that game. And in that game, West Ham, right? They had... No, I'll put it this way. Man United, man, allowed them to have the ball a lot more. And there were many, many chances where... There were many points that were like... The floodgates were just open, blood. The floodgates were just open. Giving West Ham so much of the ball. And even though that we played okay in the first patches of the first half, that game was nowhere near the standards here of Man United, fam. Nowhere near. I've been saying this for a minute about how bad Amram set up the team. People often say about mistakes, like the way that Mr. Spamming was playing, including the 2 chances he had in the last minute. The mistakes in that. And then people will blame the players. But I'm like, look, you can set up your team to erase mistakes that players do. But of course, right, making mistakes, man, is part of the game, blood. It's part of the game. It's part of life. You're human. But despite the flaws and mistakes from players, you are responsible of how you set up the system with these players to eliminate as much error as possible. And this is what happens that when you shoehorn players that are basically out of position to fit the style. Like, for example, Ahmad is not a right wing back. He's an attacking midfielder or a right winger. But because that he is so agile and is willing to do the job, he plays there. But he's not a right wing back. When you see something like that, it's a basic red flag. Like the way that he is misprofiling players and put them into the wrong positions. It's like me putting diesel fuel in a petrol car, blood. It's incompatible. But then we see man always doing these kind of things. I said this before, man, like about the subs. And this isn't the first time he's been doing this. He's been doing this again and again and again and again and again. And I'm saying this, he's doing it by the Wagwan. Again, a Wagwan. And I'm like, fam, brother, what are you doing? And this ain't the first time. I said this in my previous videos. This ain't the first time he has done this, where like you are almost getting there to be somewhere where about at the top 4 is screaming for United yet to be there. But then once again, We've just forgotten that, fam, the manager is Amram. He's not gonna. He can't get us there. I remember I saw the lineup, and then I saw Xerxes, I saw Cunha, and I saw Embremo, Ahmad, and I'm like, all right, that is a sick lineup. I can see that we're definitely going to link play, especially if West Ham were to play a low block, which they do, so that you need Xerxes as the focal point, not in the air, but to ball to feet to get Cunha and Embremo, and if Embremo to Ahmad to play. Because obviously we always play by the wing backs. Or long ball to my man, Xerxes. Again and again and again about the subs. You have the chance to get to top 4. This was another game, exactly like the other games before, even against Spurs, where you have the chance to get to where they're at top 4. Like I said, I saw the lineup, and I was like, fam. You see about the link play and everything like that, like I said before, but then not knowing that we have a manager there that's called Amram, and he is anti wherever that he wants to do with Xerxes, Cunha, Embremo, Ahmad. Xerxes was one of the best players in the league that he was before, fam. And Cunha was Wolves' best player before last season. Embremo, exactly the same thing. Ahmad, like the best player for Sunderland in his loan spell. You have all this. You have all of these fantastic players, and your only job, man, is to kind of not only set up the team, but set up the team accordingly to the strength of the players, not the strength to the system. The game is going okay. Played absolutely was. The game's going okay. Keep it that way. And then the way things were going and the way he brought up the subs, it's like as if he was defending a 1-0. Why couldn't we just get the second goal? You know, or like I said before, keep the players on the pitch. The ones that are able to control the game, hold the ball, drive with the ball. The thing about it is that in this game, it was end to end. That's what I say. How Man United, man, is 8th is beyond me. Especially the way that Amram style. It's fam. And then instead of bringing in Mainu, he brings in Mount Onogarte, like I said before, about cardio players. Cardio players, man, that are not even there to. They're not even good at holding the ball. Ogarte, he's not good at holding the ball. Mount, Mainu is one that can drive with the ball, hold the ball up. He is part of the ballers team with Cunha, Xerxes, Ahmad, my man Embremo. You know, like I said about the quality of the game, the ball is bouncing everywhere and there, and I'm like, poor sides going against each other. This is what I mean about the quality of the league. It's poor. This is why that points, like, let me see, because I got the league table right in front of me. So 5th right now, Crystal Palace 23 points, United 22. So that's 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Are you trying to say that there are 9? Actually, yeah, 9 points, blood, between Leeds and Crystal Palace. 9 points between them. Leeds at 17, Crystal Palace they're 5th. 9 points. 9 points. United, Amram, the amount of time that he had a chance, man, to don't do something, to do some foolishness, do some bookery, and he does that. I've said it again and again about the subs. In us, man, in the bare times in that game where we fell over in the penalty box trying to get a penalty, and I'm like, you man, like, what are we doing here, blood? Just get up on your feet, man, and then just try to. But look, there's something that I also want to say, right? And it's for West Ham, Wan-Bissaka, blood. Wan-Bissaka, that guy. The tackle he did in the 33rd minute in the box against Cunha. Sick stuff, man. I mean, we know this because he was our player beforehand during the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era and before that. So we know what he's capable of. And then the goal line clearances, he was sick. I can't lie, he was immense here for West Ham. He was like a one-man back line for West Ham. That's what it was. He probably should have got man of the match because this guy, he was balling, he was dribbling past players. He even Ole Cunha at one point. He was dropping a shoulder, fainting. He was even inverting. And I think probably that's how they get the best out of Wan-Bissaka, because I don't think he was a player that goes out, he goes in. But he was inverting, he was making things happen. He was trying to make things happen. And then we're like sitting there and then we're like, you making man do that? Certain players played okay, man. Like, I like the way Ahmad played that game. He played okay. Not the best, but he played okay. He was taking players on. He was doing feints, step overs, cutting inside. But but the thing about it is that United, right? They were trying to. They were doing some patterns of play. I don't know if these patterns here were done on the training ground. Who knows? Because the way they play here like as if they don't even do anything on the training ground. They just go there and do anyhow. It's like scrambled egg, like I said before in the previous videos. They do, like, there were moments where they were doing patterns of play, and then the ball goes off here for a throw-in, or like a back heel from Ahmad, and then the ball here, and then the ball is actually meant to go to another player, but instead the ball goes to the opposition. And then not even that, like Ahmad, he's trying to defend, he can't defend. So that's what says that his performance was okay. And then my man Xerxes, he played well, man. He had to come deep here to link play. What else can he do? That's the thing. That's what he has to do. That's the and for him to come deep, it loses a little bit of a focal point up front, or you know what I'm talking about. And the thing about it is that there was no urgency in this game. No urgency in the game. And then the thing about it is that when you play 5 at the back, and then you're conceding every game, it doesn't make sense. Make that make sense. I just don't know, man. Like, because the thing about it is that like I said before, with the linking of play, patterns of play, where there is no is it synergy or syncage? Sync and energy, synergy. I think it's synergy. That's what I'm gonna put. Synergy. When there's no sync in between players, it doesn't even come off. And fans are gonna say, "Oh, that we had possession, we had many shots," but in fact, I think we had something like probably 4 shots on target along those lines. Let me tell you something for free, right? About possession, and I said this in the previous video, and I tried to make it as simple as possible. You can have as much possession as you want, but if you don't do anything with it, it's useless, and it goes against you. You have to take full advantage of what you have in front of you. If you have possession, take a risk. Urgency, take a risk. But don't take a risk from a player like Mr. Spamming. No, someone that can actually pass the ball properly with the right way of pass. Not someone that passes the ball and then the ball is a little bit like it's like as if you got to do so much with the ball. Because the thing about it is that if you don't do anything with the possession you have, it's rendered useless. There were teams out there in the past that a team has like 70 or 80% possession, and then the opposition have 20% possession, but then the 20% possession team wins the game. Do you know why? Because they made use of it. They took advantage of what they had. Just because we got 60%, 70%, 80%, or whatever it is of possession we have, doesn't mean that we played well. And not even that, no one beat the eye test. I've been saying this for a minute. No one beat the eye test. You watch that and be like, what on earth was that? Because if you don't take advantage of it, then it's worse. The stats are just worse. No one yet can't tell me that yeah, I remember there was even a chance. What was it? Bruno. I think Cunha tried to do a bicycle kick. I think he miskicked it, something like that, and then I think the ball was bounced, and then Bruno did like a double kick, and then that even went wide. There were many chances that Bruno, Mr. Spamming, had chances, man, to put the game to bed, get at least a goal, but nah. And then obviously, in the 58th minute, man, Dalot, man, scored his goal. You know, the Ahmad passed the ball to Casemiro. He tried to shoot it first time, but I think the ball got deflected or miskicked it, whatever. And it landed at Dalot, and Dalot took the shot and went in. Cool. I mean, like I said before, one of my favorite players, Casemiro, he was immense in that game. He read the game well, content. I wouldn't say, oh, what a fantastic. No, okay, it was okay. And then those subs came on, which was Mount and Ugarte for Cunha and Xerxes, like I said before. And like I said, where is Manu? Where is this Brer? Where is he? And then within 4 minutes, we concede. 1-1. And it was Magassa. Let me check. Yeah, I think that was his name. Let me just double check that name. Let me see. Yeah, Magassa. Forgive me if I pronounce his name wrong. I think I might be pronouncing it a different way, but I'm probably pronouncing it in my own accent. Yeah, he's first goal, man, at West Ham following his move in the summer. A goal from a corner. From winning positions again and again and again. He had the chance to become top 4. Blows it, man. Like I said about Mr. Spamming, like, look, the reason why that I'm always on it on this guy is because I watch several men when they play. And because of the way Bruno is, I think in terms of his stature as a player and his feet, and it does look like as if he's not agile enough. And then, because of the way he is, because he was getting all emotional in the game, and I'm like, fam, keep a cool head, because I know how you are, blood. When you have a captain that's so emotional, it just reflects. It just reflects the manager. The reason why I'm always on him is because he's the captain. Absolute nasty work, fam, with him, especially with him, because Bruno and him, they started in the defensive midfield position, and the amount of times where like Casemiro and Bruno, they were so far apart from each other. And also there were even one point where my man, Mr. Spamminger, was in the right wing midfield where Ahmad was, ruining the shape of the team and leaving Casemiro by himself, leaving a massive gap. And not even that. He was man of the match. I was trying to process this. How is he man of the match? This could have been done. This could have given you to Wan-Bissaka or something. But then I thought of it and I said, you know what? Because both teams, the quality was so horrid, blood. It was so horrid. It was so bad that, yeah, out of the bad bunch, Bruno. That's a thing. A win would have put us to joint fourth. I think fifth because of the goal difference. And it would have put pressure, man, on the top four. Like that. Amram, man, he needs to stop, man, with his pre-planned subs. Like that. He just needs to stop it with his pre-planned subs, man. And the thing about it is that if anyone wants Amram here, at this club, the question I would like to ask is why and what do you see that's on the pitch? What is the improvements? I would like to know, because it's like a 1 step forward, 2 steps back kind of thing. And then the thing about it is that it's like, we're stalling. It's like a stall game. It's like Amram pulled the handbrake. Handbrake system. That's what he has. I've said this for a minute, man. Like me, I want Amram to succeed. Obviously, he wanted to come in the summer, but Ineos, fam, Ineos, yeah. This is on you, Ineos, blood. It is. Fairs. We all want Amram to succeed. But like I said, man, every time he does some foolishness, some bukery like that, our faith is wearing thin. I was saying about Ineos, blood. Ineos, this is on you, blood. It's on you, man, because you're keeping this man here and he's just sinking the ship. The ship is already sinking and you are still saying, drive the ship. But the ship, the Titanic ship, is still sinking, blood. By the time you know it, man, it's sinking so much that it's sinking right into the depth of the sea. This is West Ham for Wagwan's sake, blood. This is West Ham. It's West Ham. 1 game a week. 1 game a week. And then we get this. West Ham are one of the worst teams to concede goals. And right now, next, we're facing Wolves. And Wolves are also part of that bunch. And I'm saying to myself, fam, like, you can't trust United. You can't. This is why that in the previous videos that I've been doing, I couldn't able to predict if Man United were going to win that game or not. All we can expect is the worst. It's a mad thing. Ineos, man, they have to get us a competent manager that can get the best out of these players and elevate them to their best. Elevate them, man, to the next level, but clearly he can't do it. He cares more of the system than to the players. That's what it is. You know, and even though I'm not surprised, it's a shock because West Ham, they're in a relegation zone. So then you can tell that if Fulham were to score 3 goals against Man City, Liverpool drew at home, Crystal Palace won 1-0. Obviously, this is obviously it's a very tough fixture, game week fixtures right now in December. And then United can't even beat West Ham. Can't even. And I'm not surprised. This is why I haven't. This is the reason why I'm not always giddy, blood. This is why I'm not giddy, blood. This is why I'm not giddy, fam. You know, like we won games, the 3 in a row thing that we happened before. I didn't celebrate. I was like, fam, this is not sustainable. And we see man getting giddy, celebrating. People saying, "Oh, I told you." Told us what, fam? You told us jack whatnot. This is what I predicted. It's still gonna be like this. I'm not surprised, but like I said before, when you see something like this, you're just shocked. Like, wow. Like, we knew Man you were bad, but yeah, you guys are really bad. I said this before. I said this here for a long thing that don't ever expect a turnaround. I dare this manager, I dare Amraman to lose to Wolves or at least draw it. I dare. You know, we see these things and watch it when they just win. And then the fans, the Man United fan base will get all excited. And then the next game we lose. You know, like it's like as if that's it. We put our hopes up, but then United, just drag everyone down. Everybody's low. United win, and then we expect more to win, go more, and then gets dragged down because the loss. This is it. Fam. Big man thing. This is. Let me keep it a buck. You can't defend this. Nobody, blood, can defend this.